I digress. Go take everybody back. When was your live day? When did you get hit?
I was wounded on 21 June of 2005. Um, basically, in the movie Apocalypse Now, never get off the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, never get off the tank. We got a notification. A guy came up to one of the police checkpoints and said, "Hey, there were some guys screwing around over by this bridge. We think there's an IED over there." Took the tank over, got eyes on the bridge, scanned it with optics, scanned the area, looking for anybody hanging around that shouldn't have been. Didn't see anything. And then the last thing you want to do before you roll a tank over a bridge is clear the bridge. And so I got off the tank, got a couple of other guys, and we were walking across the bridge. And there was an IED that was buried under the asphalt. And a little piece of antenna sticking up out of the asphalt, and it blew up about 3 feet from where I was standing. So
Jeez. How big was it?
it was an 81 millimeter mortar round that was buried under the ground. So not terribly big, but not something you want to stand next to when it goes off.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, probably yay big around. And it went off, and I got blown off of the bridge that I was standing on and into a canal, and was unconscious. And my XO jumped in the canal. Once everybody sat up and was like, "What the hell just happened?" They were like, "Oh, where's the
Chuck?
Yeah. And so my XO ran over to the edge of the bridge, saw my boots in the water, jumped in, pulled me to the side. One of my Iraqi counterpart soldiers was right there, and pulled me up out of the canal, which was great because I had all my body armor on. I wasn't in any kind of functioning capacity mentally, and I would have most certainly drowned in that canal. By the way, drainage canals in Iraq are not the place you want to be with open wounds.
Yeah, I was thinking you survive the initial blast and you die of sepsis,
Oh yeah, I had it all. I had MRSA. I had a multi-drug resistant organism that they still don't know what it is, but hit me with every antibiotic on the planet. But yeah, and so I get up out of the water. I'm starting to get my wits about me. I walk over to the Humvee. I look at my XO, and I was like, "Am I still pretty? Do I still have my junk?" And I mean, literally, that's what I said. And I didn't get a humorous chuckle or anything back. And I looked down, and everywhere that there isn't body armor is bleeding.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's not good. And so I grabbed the hand mic in my truck, in my Humvee, which always followed wherever I was in the tank, because often as a commander, you have to jump from one to the other and go and do. So I grabbed the hand mic on the radio, called battalion, said, we've got one WIA, IED blast, this location. Sent the 9-line medevac, and they're like, "Who is the person that got wounded?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's my Charlie Zulu 5087 is the battle roster number." And my boss is like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "Nah, you should probably send a helicopter." And then I just sat down, and I was out at that point. I'm like, "Yeah, get the medic over here."
You weren't in shock. You were in shock at that
I
time.
was absolutely in shock.
Yeah.
Because I was walking around with all of this, gore on me, and losing blood and everything else, and I had a collapsed lung. I had my eardrums were blown out. I could barely see because my eyeballs, literally the eyeball and the retina, were bruised. I had parts missing from one hand. My other hand was broken and shredded. My legs were torn open, and I'm just walking around, calling in my medevac, and then the medics rush up and they get me pretty much to where I'm sitting down, and I'm like, I can't breathe. And they're they're working to pull off my body armor, and we had the cool armor that you pull the string and everything. Just no, we didn't have that yet. We didn't. It falls apart. And so they're trying to pull it off and work it around my head and my arms and everything. I'm like, just cut it. And they were like, "Sir," and I was like, "Just cut it off. It's just money. I don't care." And so then they cut off the body armor, and they're like, "Okay, so everywhere that there was body armor, not a mark on it. Everywhere that there wasn't, plenty of marks." But the one of the pieces of the IED actually hit the front SAPI plate in my body armor and broke it.